going to go into groups of 3. So I need you guys to come up with all the practical needs. We'll discuss this. Either from a school management perspective, what are all the practical needs that we need to put in place, and what are the customers' personal needs? I think you guys need to itemize it and discuss it. So what are those practical needs and what are those personal needs? Then you get someone in your team that will come and present. So let's team 1, can you fire?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Director, and good afternoon, everyone. Now, for the practical needs of this
guys, if your team is make, I will deduct points. I'm marking. I will deduct 10 points from your team.
For the practical needs of the customer, clean environments. Everyone is attracted to the clean environments. They feel comfortable, they feel welcome. The perception of coming in a clean environment, you feel good in that environment. So the clean environment definitely, will make the customer experience to be like a wow experience. So secondly, conducive learning classroom. What I've discovered from parents is that, when
what you discover from where?
From parents, from experience, when we, give a snapshot of the activities that were done by the wards or learners, they always look at the lightings, look at the size of the classrooms, look at the space and all that. So, and even during the time of COVID-19, they were very, very particular about the spacing and the classroom, air in the classroom and the lighting. So by the time the conducive learning environment must be there, the lighting system, the space between each learners, the kind of seats, the quality of the seat also matters. So all these things will, make parents. Yes, also because some of these parents, they look at, they send pictures, they look at the lighting, look at the seats, look at, this seat is too small for my child. My child is very tall, so this one is very small. So I need something that is bigger or something that is stronger. And thirdly, teachers' appearance. What I discovered is that the learners who are the internal customer, they look at you physically and they size you up. But of course, they will not tell you. Some of them will go up and say, I love what you do, I love your tie, I love this. So some may just be gossiping and saying, look at the way your tie, look at the way your mother. So all these things, they go a long way, and they can even go home and tell their parents, my teacher smells nice, my teacher looks good, my teacher, is really, really up and doing and all that. So all these things goes a long way in giving a wonderful customer experience. Now, the first one, front desk approach. Now, the face of the school is the front desk. So before they enter the classroom, they must pass through the front desk. So the face of any school is the front desk. Nobody just comes to the school and just get to the classroom or the laboratory. They come to the front desk. So a front desk personnel must always have a smiling face, irrespective of your, whether your husband or your wife beats you at home. You just have to be a smiling face, to have a wonderful experience. Because when the customer that is happy, and has so many good things about his school comes and see the way you are frowning. From that movie I just watched, when they watched the advert was a complete contrast to what they experienced. So when they go to the customer-facing environment, the man was just busy talking to his people. For the next 3 to 5 minutes, he did not even look at them. And even when he eventually answered, the mannerism, the way they were even, saying, I'm sorry, please, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't. Don't use the word I can't to the customer. I'll try, please, be comfortable, I will try. Don't use what I can't. Because what is that I can't, you are saying you don't care. And they want to see that you care. So if you say I can't, you say, well, it's like, we're not really ready for business. So the fifth one, learning aids. Now, these learning aids, one thing I discovered is that the way some subject is being taught can make a learner, which is the internal customer, to be interested in that subject or not. So learning aids is very important. That we make the same topic can be taught by different teachers, and you discover that the learners will learn, better when the particular teacher teaches them. Because, like in YouTube, there's a particular thing I was learning on YouTube. I've learned it on, with several, facilitators, and, but when I learned it from this particular, teacher on YouTube, I just love it. So even other of his, learning videos, I was just, trying to, so the fifth one, the sixth one, welcoming culture. How do you celebrate, the customers, the parents, and and the learners? You have to celebrate them. You have to celebrate them. So you have to devise strategy on how to celebrate them, in the class, and of course, maybe on WhatsApp, put their picture, and it's good to celebrate them and all that. So good communication. Now, good communication is that you must be proactive. You must not allow something to escalate and now start reacting and now start explaining, okay, this is what happened. Before something escalated, you would have managed the situation so that it does not escalate. So that's good communication is very important. School facilities. School facilities, the equipment, can make the building structure and everything, even the environment also goes a long way. So for the personal needs, love and care. Everybody wants to be shown love and care. Everyone wants to be honored and show love and care. So when they don't feel honored, I'm investing in this institution. So people should try to place my worth in the place where I want to be. So you must really celebrate people's worth and all that. That's love and care. And empathy. Be in the position of people's condition. Like now, put yourself in people's position. The kind of like, for instance, now, parents that have three lots of children. So if they are able to pay partial, you can just give them some little time and say, I feel your concern. It's not easy to pay 3 learners, school fees like that. So I'm giving you extra incentive and all that. So integrity. Integrity means unchanging in your quality. Not that you will say A in your heart and you doing B in reality. So you must have what integrity, unchanging in your quality of service. When you say A, your A is A and your name is name. Good communication. You said that effective teaching and learning, or effective teaching and learning environment and attitude. Respect. So you must respect your internal customer and also show respect to your parents, to the parents and to the world. Even if you are angry, try to learn not to, be angry. Just control your temper and talk to them politely, and that will go a long way to retain them. Result oriented. Now, everything about life is results. Everybody wants to identify with people that are result oriented. So you must see where you want to be before you start the process. So you must see where you want to be. Anywhere you are going, you must have seen that place already. If as you all came here, you've already seen that you'll be seated like this and receiving training. That is why you embarked on that journey and you are here. So you must make them to see, the end from the beginning. All right. So motivation. So we have to motivate people that pay early, parents that pay early, learners that come early, learners that do their assignments early, learners that are up, and we have to motivate them to encourage them to do more and encourage others who are struggling to improve. Feedback. Try to find out how they feel about your service. Don't just assume that, the service is best. There's always room for improvement. The largest room is the room of improvement. So always get what? The feedback from your.
Well done, well done. Thank you very much.
So we're still trying to talk about how we're going to meet the practical needs and the personal needs of both our internal and external customers. Now we're talking about classroom first of all. If the parents are coming, the parents may like your classroom setting, but then the children themselves do not like it. So So what do you do at that point? Oh, you see, I don't want to sit at the back. I want to sit in front. You help them organize the classroom in such a way that nobody feels left out in your class. That's the first thing you do. Okay, do you want to sit here? Do you like this place? Do you like where you are sitting? Make sure everybody is comfortable in the classroom. Then the next one is the facilities of the school. They look at the facilities. Some will say, there is AC here, I want to sit where there is AC, I want to sit where there is this, I want to do this. Ensure that the facilities that you have in the classroom is always sufficient for each of them. You're not just going to focus on, oh, this person has this thing. Let me just be the fan for this boy because I like this boy. Ensure that the school facilities, whether it's the biro, the books, anything you have in school, ensure that you meet the needs of these children with all your facilities. Then the next is your teaching aids. In primary schools, you see, when you go to the primary classrooms, you see on their walls, they have charts, either diagrams for the body, diagrams for multiplication tables and all. When the parents come in and see that, they feel like, oh, this is even a one step. If my child doesn't know this camp, quickly look at that chart and learn. Even before class starts, you can just look at it. So we must ensure we have enough teaching aids as teachers in the classroom to meet this practical needs. Then the next one is the school environment. Even if my school is beautiful, if it's in an environment that is not fine, it's still going to be a no for parents. So if I put my school in an environment that I know that the next 2 minutes they will start shooting, it's still going to be an issue for people to put their work there. So wherever we are situating either our school or businesses, we should ensure that there is security there for the people that are coming and the people that will be going. Then the next one is the dress sense of your staff. The appearance really matters. How you dress is how they will address you. Oh, this person is wearing shoe that is bent. So have you seen the serious shoe? She's always wearing shoe that is bent one side. When the children start it, they go back home and then they tell it to their parents, like, oh, this teacher said they don't know how to dress. We'll see this one, this thing that look like clown. And they don't tell you, they then tell their parents. And some parents look out for these things because if I want to tell my friends, oh, this is school my child is attending, and then they look and see how the teachers are, it's not a good presentation for us. So if you want to meet this practical needs, ensure that there's a dress code for your staff in school. Then the next one is the personal needs, empathy. Some of us are not empathic as teachers. I'm already angry, oh, this person made me angry, don't come with your own problem. So you just look at the child. What is the problem? How can I help you? What do you want me to do for you? At that point, at least help them meet that need that they are asking of you. Then show them care and love, be patient with them, welcoming culture. Everybody has been talking about it. And I'm sure it's not every day that all of us will be excited. Let's be factual now. We'll not all be excited all the time to say, you are welcome to this place, you are welcome to this. Some days you may not have that your best need. So what do? Try your best to be polite with people. That's where communication comes in. Listen to them. What do you want? Follow them up, and then also ensure that your feedback is working for you, because we have negative and positive feedback. Ensure you are working on both of those feedbacks. Then the final one is the enthusiastic work.
All right, thank you. Let's clap for Team 3. Still standing on the existing protocol. I will not to bore you with what said. I will not to bore you with what my colleague has said, but just to draw some attention to the list we think of, and I will be more practical in this sense. When we look at the environment, I tell people that the environment has to do with both the physical and psychological structure. You know, we are talking about the physical structure. I can remember about the environment as little as the toilets. The parents are so detailed about that. So even at your toilet, from school, they don't put that into cognizance. I remember an experience that the first thing that parents asked, take me to your restroom. And I was like, wow, you know. So you have to understand that the list of your facility must be well checked, and that must be done regularly. Then in terms of facility, we've spoken about that. I would say this, that the facility has to do with the heart of the school, because no parent wants to keep his or our rural under environment that is not befitting for their level, and for our own kind of grade, respect, all this, and that we have. But we also have to project it out to parents, because if you don't sell what you have, people will know what you have, and that must be done in a very proud and very lively manner. And when we come to the learning aids, we've said it all.
in the secondary school structure, I keep telling people that you have to understand that you have different calibers of learners in your class. You shouldn't focus on just the top flyers. You should understand that our learning aids must cut across those struggling. Because parents are not after students that are doing well. They want to see how you're able to pick students that are not doing well and bring them to the top flyer. And that is what sells a school most, not those that are doing well. They want to say, how can you pick someone that is presenting a 30% to this thing? So your learning aid must cover students that are struggling and give them courage, give them motivation from whatever you present. Because most of our learners learn from what they see more from what they hear. So it means that our learning aid must be more of what they see, practical approach, than theoretical and just talking and talking. Life has gone beyond talking. They want to see what you can offer, and we have to inculcate that early enough in the minds of these learners. When we talk about appearance, we're talking about appearance. I keep saying is that appearance it's not just about the dressing. I've gone to places that just the look alone can put off someone. And I keep telling people, even in your worst day of this thing, keep smiling. I love this duty. When you go to duty, even at their late hours, before that you expect them to retire, they will tell you welcome to GT. Even the security person there, and I feel wow. Even at 4, that you expect someone to be tired. So you should also understand that maintaining appearance goes beyond just the early hours of the day. You must maintain it always till the last die, because the best the prospect you might be expecting might not come early, might come at the late hour, and you will not consider the fact that you will be worn out. So you expect to put always be ready for the best, because what you need is to get, and I will say this, that first impression, people are not after, oh, you have a first listing. First impression, what the impression you keep in the heart of someone goes a long way. But for the rest of their life, even when you have the best, and that's why people don't keep your best for the last, keep your best for the first. That goes a long way. And when we talk about classroom management, you have to be dynamic. You must be static. Life is dynamic. You have to be revolved. If your class is straight up, the next week you can make your classroom, have variety of setting for your students. Make it look very interesting. Make them feel that level of entitlement, that the school is not about you, but about them. And make them feel welcome, make them feel that joy. I've had students who will say, sir, I don't come to school. Why? Because the environment is not attractive to them, and they are the ones that project the school to their world. I keep telling people that your real marketer or people selling your school are not the parents but the students. But what they say outside to their peers, to their friends, goes a long way in selling and projecting your school. So we have to be careful to treat these ones like adults in their mind, because they are actually adults. The present dispensation of learners are not babies, they are adults. And what they say either make or mar the school. I like that. Want to say this, that again from experience, we have to meet up deadlines. Not just deadlines. If you tell someone tomorrow 2 p.m., anything outside 2 p.m., you fail. And I tell people with the level of modernization now, people are after deadline. So before you give commitment, before you say things, be very sure that you're going to meet up whatever you're saying. If you're telling someone, oh, this thing will be ready by 2 p.m., if you're not sure, don't alter a thing. I keep telling people very close to me, I said, see, before you give your time, be sure you're going to meet it. And if for any reason, because human factor may say, hey, you're not going to meet up, send a message to them, make them understand that I'm not going to meet up. There's the level of communication, deadline, and achieving goals. If someone is coming in, they tell you what they want, ensure that at every interval you're able to reaffirm your commitment to them in achieving their goals. People will not just bring people into the system, but they want to see how you're able to achieve that goal. And that has to do with our ability to meet deadlines. That's for practical needs. For the practical needs, for the personal, I will just go straight up to courtesy. I tell people that courtesy, many of us still have to groom ourselves when it comes to courtesy. Good morning, good afternoon. I've seen quite a number of places where my parents come in and they sit at reception and teachers just flow in, flow out. That's good morning, man, good morning, so you're welcome, hope you're enjoying your stay. All these little things to us might be little, but they send in a lasting impression. And your look, even if you've had issues with your team lead before appearing in front of a parent, don't allow that to engulf your appearance. Because when you someone says something, when one of the real practical lessons here, the parent I met looked at me and was like, are you sure your teachers are happy?
And I was like, yes. And the teacher passed, put his face, said, well, that affirmed it. And I was like, thank God the person coming actually was smiling. That would have actually just made the whole scene, because they want to see what you're telling them, they're seeing it. And funny enough, within 2 minutes, someone passed, and the person was smiling and said, well, that affirmed it. I said, well, to me, glory to God that the person that passed was actually smiling. If otherwise, that would have been a bad business for that day. So let's always, and let's try our best. Human factor mistake, just like I say, but we have to understand that the reason there is always we have to project ourselves, we have to sell ourselves, and what you sell is not the school but yourself.
Fantastic.
And finally, this is a school. We know that in school business, people are not ready to hear what you say for results, and this result have to do with both external and internal. If a parent is coming in and the result of their learners is not improving, you don't expect them to keep their learners with you. So you have to keep challenging, you have to see how you're able to improve the result of your child, both internal and external. I've seen parents that will tell you that within 2 terms, my child doesn't move from 40% to 60%, they cannot work. And all these things have to do with all these, that's your classroom degree and the rest. So see that you, as teachers, your concern should not just be, oh, my student is 80 and is 80. How the low learners can move. And I tell people it's not magic. Parents are not expecting that magic, they are realistic. 40 to 45 movement. The gradual movement keep them affirmed that you know what you're doing, you know why you're in the business, and you know what you are real in for real business. And finally, timing and frequent feedback. I keep saying it, the soul of any business is time. And when we understand the quality of time, understand the value of time, then we actually are ready for good business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Well done, well done. I can see that we really embedded this learning, and I purposely allowed this session to go. So if it's what you're going to take away today, it's clear in your mind that we are able to do a deep dive analysis into it.